Power BI. And first I will connect the source file. Then we will transform the data. We will do data cleansing. Then we will be doing the calculations with the help of these DAX measures. And I would share these DAX measures in the end with you as well, with all of you, so that if you want to try, you can try this. Okay. So again, this is get data Excel. So I will be a bit fast so that, we will have to cover so many things. This is the source file, advanced financial reporting and analysis in Power BI. Open. So the connection will be established. So here are the files. Again, I would repeat, the one with the blue header means that the data is in tabular format. That's why it's coming with this blue header. Other sheets are without the blue header, so we will not touch the sheets. We will only select the ones with the blue header. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So balance sheet, customer, income statement, product details, region, sales, target. We'll select, click on transform data.
Ali, you forgot to select sales. One of the five.
Okay, 1 minute. So I will just go back, source, browse. We will start again, no problem. No. It will not take much time. I will start again. Close this, don't save. Okay, we will again open. Mr. Khalid again entered. So we will just open the Power BI desktop icon on the desktop. And the first step is to establish the connection. Good. Okay, now again get data, Excel, same Excel file, connecting. So the ones with the blue header, I will select 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now it's fine. Thank you, Amjad. Transform data. So first step is the data transformation and data cleansing. This is the balance sheet. So we will create a space between balance and sheet. Customer 4 should be renamed as customer. Income statement is fine. Again, I would create a space between income and statement. Then there is product. This is product details, region. Sales is fine. So in this session, I will be only dealing with this income statement, balance sheet, income statement, and targets, because I will create some ratios. I will prepare some ratios. So we only need these 3 sheets. Okay. Now, the first step is the data transformation, but I will again create the date table. As we have discussed before, that with the help of a date code, it's easy for us to create the date table. So the code is saved here in the folder. This is the date code, Power BI date table code. So I would suggest all of you, if you try to practice it or if you try to implement, just use this date code as it is. Copy, minimize. We go in Power BI. Here, new source, blank query. So in this blank query, we would go in this view. In view, we will click on advanced editor and we will just copy paste the code here. Control V. So we will set the parameters. So start date should be 1st January 2017, because I know the data starts from January. 1st January 2017. End date I will put 1st January 2021. And financial year start month 1st. So it depends, like in our countries, like in some countries is July, in some countries is January. So we will keep it simple. Invoke. And now the date table has been created. We will rename this as date. I'm going a bit slow now. It's very important. These are very important concepts. So again, as we discussed before, that I want a new column, quarters, because I will be using quarterly data, and to analyze the data quarter wise, I need a column of quarter Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. So I will create that one. I would create on add column from examples. I didn't do anything, just click on column from examples. Here a new column has been created. I would click on Q1, and Power BI would automatically pull the data. So we have now Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. So instead of going and searching for this quarterly information, we have created a new column in the date table. We would rename it as quarters. All right, now I will click on OK. So a new column of quarters has been established, has been created. It has Q1, Q2, Q3 and Q4. Fine. And I would do some other steps now. I would look into balance sheet. There is main account. This is category. This is subcategory. So just have a look on this table, because I will not come again when we will be doing data modeling and when I will be using creating DAX measures. I will just refer you back when I showed you this. This is main account, assets and liabilities category. This is category. This is subcategory. Okay. So select these first three columns: main account, category, subcategory. Right click on any of the column, unpivot other columns. So when you will be doing on your own data and your data will be in the different columns, you need to unpivot other columns. And as I mentioned before, that Power BI deals with columns. You must have noticed that the data is not going from row wise. It's a columnar, you can say, tool. So I would unpivot other columns. Now the other columns are unpivoted. This first column is the date column. So we will rename it as, month. These are months. So I will rename it as months. All right. And these are the values. So I will rename it as BS values, because these are balance sheet values. So remember this, when we will be using DAX measures, we will be referring to BS values. Okay, this is months. So the first step again is the checking the data type. The month should be date. It is date, and BS values is whole number. It should be changed to decimal number. Okay, now it's fine. BS values, months, subcategory is fine, text, category, and this is main account. So data cleansing, data transformation is the first step we have done with balance sheet. Now we will go to income statement. Again, the first category, the first column is main category, the second is subcategory. Main category has revenue, cost of revenues, operating expenses, interest expense, and subcategory has revenues, cost of expense, blah, blah, blah. So we will again unpivot other columns, select two with the control, right click, unpivot other columns. Now again, it will be renamed as months. These are IS values. Okay. Now again, we will check the data type. Month should be date, and IS values is whole number. It should be decimal number. Okay, now it's fine. Data is valid 100%, no error, no cell is empty, fine. And now we have balance sheet. We are done with the income statement. We are done with the date table. So we will do a bit, categorization. We will transfer this query into in a new folder. Move to group queries. We will give it a name of queries, and by clicking, just click on balance sheet, right click and move to group, new group, data model, and we will transfer the 3 tables in this. I will show you which one I would transfer. I would transfer balance sheet already there, income statement and date will be and target as well. Okay, I will transfer them in data model. Now it's giving us a neat look. Queries is done, data model has 4. We will be dealing this one in this session. The other queries we will deal in the next session. Okay, fine. So we have now with us balance sheet, fine, income statement, fine, we have targets, date we have, and now we will create the relationships and we will close and apply. So close and apply. We will close this one as well. Now the query changes will be applied and we will move into the modeling section. All the changes which we have done, which we did in the Power Query section, will be reflected in the Power BI interface, or we can say in the model. So this is report, this is data, this is model. So all the relationships which are already there will be deleted. So just click here, right click, delete it. We just see that if there are already relationships created, we will delete them and we will create our own. Click, right click, delete. So we only need 4 tables now. The first one is balance sheet. We will put this one in the middle. Customer we don't need, sales we don't need, we need date. So we will put date at the top. Then there is balance sheet, and then we need income statement. Where is income? This is the income statement. And we need targets. Although we will not create relationship with the target, but we need these targets because again, when we will create ratios, we will be judging our ratios against the targets which we set. Okay, so to create the relationships, we always look for the lookup column. Lookup column is, as you know, as we discussed, the date is the lookup column. These are the dimension tables. This is the fact table. So I would just drag and drop date over months first on the balance sheet. There is a relationship created between date of date column of date table and months of balance sheet. Again, this month, again I would drag and drop on date. So there is again the relationship being created, one to many, many to one, it doesn't matter. Okay, now we can create DAX measures easily. Now date, balance sheet, income statement, target we have. Now we will go to the report section and now we will start creating the DAX measures. Before that, I will show you the report which I created so that you guys will have the idea what will be our final report. So this is the report which I created. And in this session, my target is to cover this, at least this one. In the last session, I prepared the vertical analysis. Now this is different. So it has some, same concept which we used last time. So there are many people who were absent last time. It will help them. But from this session, we will be, keep on building the other concepts in the later sessions as well. So I'm just showing you the demo, the report, which is our target, which we are going to prepare in today's session. So it's a sort of advanced ratio analysis. And if we will have time, we will create this DuPont as well. So this is net profit. This is earning before interest and tax. This is income, interest and income tax. This is GP percent. This is OPEX, and this is revenue percent. Okay. So it's moving quarterly. It's dynamic. Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. 17 data, 18 data, 19 data, and 20 data. So this is our target, to create this ratio analysis. And to create this one, first, if we have a look here, I would first create the IS calculation, the income statement calculations. So we will calculate first revenue, then we will create cost of revenues, earning before interest and tax, gross profit, income tax, interest income tax, with the help of tax formulas. Then I would create the IS ratios, revenue percent, the same one, then COGS, then EBIT, then GP. Okay. Then I would create the balance sheet values first. Balance sheet calculations. Yeah. Financial leverage, which is part of DuPont. So we will see, if we have time, we will prepare those ratios as well. So this is our target. So I will close this and we will start creating the DAX measures. So first formula which we will use for IS calculations is that first we will create a separate table for IS calculations, and then this is the first formula, IS values is equal to sum income statement values. So with the help of this measure, all the income statement values will be added. So how we will do? I would first create a table, enter data, and the name of this table would be IS calculation, means income statement calculations. Load. So the changes will be applied. In this IS calculations, I would create a new measure. The measure name would be IS values. And these IS values will be used later on. Sum. This is the formula, income statement IS values. Sum income statement IS values. So IS values are being created. I will show you what I have done. I have added all the IS income statement values. If I go back to the Power Query, this is the income statement and this is the column of IS values. So I have added all the IS values because I would use this measure later on to pull revenue, cost of sales, operating expense, and other, P&L items, income statement items. If you have any questions, any of you can ask anytime, because now I will be, rushing. My speed will be a bit fast because I have to cover so many calculations. So this is the IS values I have created. This one is extra column. I will delete this. Delete. Now the next measure is, close this. The next measure would be revenues. So we will pull the revenue from the income statement table. So this is the formula. I will copy and paste from here. Control C. New measure. I will copy here. Control V. Revenues. So see, this revenues is equal to calculate IS values. First bracket is the expression, then second one is the filter. Like we do filtering in our Excel, this is the same. This is the expression. So what Power BI is saying that with this DAX measure, first go in IS values and then look inside the column of income statement main category and pull the revenue amount. So this is the measure being created, revenues. So I would again explain you while going into Power Query. So Power Query, the formula was that calculate IS values. So this is the IS values, and in this IS values, which is part of income statement, pull the amount of revenues. Income statement main category, pull the amount of revenues. So what it will do, it will add all the revenue amounts here. This 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 till 12. I hope you guys understood that from income statement main category, it will add all the revenue amounts and it will show us here. If we go back here, so if I just to show you, if I click on the card and I click on revenues, this is total revenue for all the years, 48.03 million. I hope it's clear. Now I would create the second one is I will be a bit faster. I would create cost of revenues, operating expense, interest expense, income tax, gross profit. So copy paste, just that's why I've written here all the formulas. Control C, new measure, Control V. So cost of revenues is equal to calculate again from IS values. The filter is income statement main category, because the main category, from the main category it will pull all the cost of revenues. Okay, now again I will copy paste this one. Third one is operating expense, new measure, Control V. So I will change it with operating expense. So we have to make sure that whatever we put here, it should be correct. Operating, it should be expenses or expense. We will see. Operating expenses, because if there is a small mistake, it will not pull the correct information. If you go and see, we will see that what's that? It's operating expenses and it's under main category. Cost of revenues, then there is operating expenses. This is cost of revenues, that is revenues. Then there is operating expenses, then there is interest expense. And interest expense is part of subcategory as well. So then there is other information. Okay, fine. Now the third one is fourth one is interest expense. Again, it's main category. Interest expense. Interest expense is equal to interest expenses, I think. Let me see again.
Expense, not expense.
Expenses?
No, expense without S.
Okay. Just I will just see. Okay. Yeah, it's expense. Correct. Yeah, thanks, Abdullah. It's interest expense, because if you will make a mistake here, then it will not pull the correct interest expense. Interest expense. It's very, very important, because it's just a sort of a coding, because if you will code a program, and this model we can use for later use as well. Next is income tax. Income tax formula is from subcategory. Okay. New measure. Subcategory. Income tax is part of subcategory. because income tax was part of subcategory, not the main category. Just correct me if I'm wrong, because you know sometimes when we will be dealing with so many formulas, we make a mistake. So here, you know, income tax will be part of, yeah, income tax is part of subcategory, not the main category. You can see this. So that's why I used income tax, income statement subcategory. So income tax we found, correct, subcategory. The next one is gross profit, which is quite simple, revenue less cost of revenues. New measure, gross profit is equal to revenues. Just write REV and it will pull already their revenues less cost of revenues. It's quite simple. Next is EBIT, which is gross profit less operating expenses. So again, a new measure, Control V, EBIT is equal to fine. We can also do this. If you will just write G, it will identify and then expenses. So EBIT we found this. Okay. Then income tax and interest and income tax is equal to interest expense plus income tax. It's quite simple. The new measure is and income tax is equal to interest expense plus income tax. Okay. Then we have last one, net profit, which is quite simple. These ratios would be very useful for finance people, like if they just pull the trial balance, if they have all the data in their hand, and once the relationship is there, connectivity is there, they just need to replace the trial balance or the source file and these ratios will be updated automatically. So this is net profit, fine. Okay, now since we have to create the advanced ratios, so we will create the ratios. So again, we will create a new table of IS ratios. So we will create this COGS percent divide cost of revenues with revenue. Everything will be divided with revenue. EBIT with this, income tax with this. Then we have BS calculation. So now we will jump into income statement ratios and we'll start with COGS percent. See, now first create the next table. IS ratios. This is very useful because in the next session we will build on these ratios. How we, if we change certain, we will be using scenario analysis as well. If we change the scenario, if for example the cost is increased by 5%, what will be the impact on revenues, the profit and all other items. So this is the IS ratio. New measure, Control V. COGS is equal to divide cost of revenues with revenues. Okay, it's fine. This is the first measure. Then extra column will be deleted. Then there is GP percent. We divide gross profit with revenues. To save time, I will copy paste. New measure. Control V. Sorry. Control V. Fine, GP percent is there. Okay, now we have operating expense percentage, which is again divide operating expense with revenues. New measure. Control V. Okay, then we have EBIT, earning before interest and tax percent. Control C. This is how it goes. New measure, Control V, earning before interest and tax percent is equal to divide EBIT. This is the same EBIT which we created in here in IS calculations. See this is the EBIT. It will be divided with revenues. That's it. EBIT percent. Fine. So far it's going good. Otherwise, if we have made a mistake, then there will be error to indicate us that something has went wrong. New measure. The next one is interest and income tax percent, which is simple. Interest and income tax divided by revenues. Fine. And the last one is net profit percentage. New measure. Okay, fine. So we have now IS ratios, we have now IS calculations. I will not calculate this BS because so far first we will cover the profitability ratios, then we will be doing the balance sheet calculations. So now we will create our KPI dashboard. First is to insert the text box. I will be doing formatting in front of you so that you will have the idea. Advanced ratio analysis. So I would change the font from here. I will make it 24. Okay, so click here. We will go here. Background should be, we will keep the background as this color, light blue. Okay, and the text should be white. Oh, sorry, we have to select first bold, and it should be white. So advanced ratio analysis. Okay, we will keep a bit dark because otherwise it's not. Now it's fine. Now I would create copy of this one again. Control C, Control V, and I will just drag and drop here. Profitability ratios. Okay. Just drag and drop. Okay. We will use this KPI card. This one. We will put it here. Just reduce the size of this KPI card. Remember, this is the KPI card because with the help of this KPI card, we will put the targets, and if our net profit would be exceeding the target, then the color of this KPI card would change. And if it's not exceeding the target, then it will be in a different color, like red. So first click on IS ratios. First is net profit percent. Click here. Okay. Here in the date, put the target because we will quarterly review our numbers. And the target goal, we have already the target table with us. Target 1, net profit percentage is this. Now we will do formatting. Click on this card again, go in this format, indicator. We will reduce the size. It should be not more than 30. 30 is fine. again format, indicator is fine. Okay, goal, this is the goal is 0.04. so goal is on. Font color of, I would change the font color as dark blue, and the font size is okay. Increasing is positive, so like if net profit increase, it's good, so fine. And the color coding is that high is good, so if it's high then it would be green, if it's low it would be red, so we would change accordingly. All right, so it's fine so far. I would change the heading of indicator. It is the title, it's under title. So if I go in title, it should be only net profit percentage, not the other one. Net profit is fine. Okay. And it should be in the middle. It's middle, and should be a bit more text size, net profit percentage. So it should be visible. Okay. So we will do once this formatting things, and it will be good to go later on. A bit small size. And first click on the target, and we will change the because it's showing as 0.04, it should be percent, and percent. So it's showing 4%. Goal is changed to 4%, only to 0 decimal places. And now if we go on the hour ratio which we calculated, IS ratios, click on net profit. It should be percent and no 0 decimal place. So just see that net profit percent is 7. Net profit is 7%. Our goal was 4%. This was the goal which we set, target. The target for the net profit was 4%, and the actual we achieved 7%, so it's green. Again, we will look at the indicators as fine because it's increasing. Good. So it should be in the middle. So again, I would open what are the other things which we have to prepare from this. I hope it's clear. Like, if any questions you can ask. I'm just looking at the other ratios so that I will follow the sequence. We use the KPI card. We had the targets. We put our, indicators. We did some formatting, and it's good to go. We established the connection first. There was, data was scattered. We aligned the data, we transformed the data, and this is how we calculated the ratios first. So now there will be EBIT, then this. Okay, fine. So I will create a copy. I will create a copy of this one. Control C, Control V. I will put it down like this. I would change the name of the indicator. Other things are fine. Title should be EBIT percent. Okay. Now I would go here and I would change first the ratio. We don't need net profit. It's EBIT percent here. First we will change here, and then in the target as well. Uncheck net profit and its EBIT ratio. Fine. And now we will convert it into percent. Only 0 decimal place, 6 is 80. And the target is, we are not exceeding the target. Target was 1 minute. We'll see the target. How much was the target? That is fine. Okay, EBIT percent. We will check the color coding that, let me see, color coding. High is good. Yeah, earning before interest and tax, if it's high, then it's good. Good color is this. And we will see the other as well. For the target also, EBIT ratio. Goal. Increasing is positive. Earning before interest and tax is increasing is positive. Fine. What was the goal? So we will convert it into percent. And only one decimal place. 2 decimal place. Now is interest and income tax percent. So again, Control C, Control V. Now we will change the heading of this indicator. It is here, title. Under title, the headings are under the title. Interest and income tax percent. Okay, fine. Now we will change the indicator from here. Target should be unchecked, interest and income tax here. And in the IS ratio also, it should be interest and income tax percent. Now we will change the percentage percent. 0 decimal places. Okay. And the target should also be the same. I don't know what happened here. So we will change the color coding. This is the expense, so high is, low is good. Okay. And goal. Decreasing is positive. Yes, fine. Now the next one is gross profit. So profit is like this. Control C, Control V. So we will change the gross profit target first. This is the GP ratio. We have changed it. We would change the ratio, our actual ratio as well. Okay. Now we will change the percentage, percent. This is gross profit, and the heading will be changed as well. It should be title. It should be gross profit. Gross profit percent, 35%. Now OPEX percent, operating expense percent. So again is expense. Control C, Control V. So first you will change the title. We will make it OPEX percent. So here in the ratio, it's operating expense. Single percentage, no decimal. And the target should also be changed. Let me see the target first. This should be OPEX percent. This is the OPEX. Okay, click and then percent. 0 decimal place OPEX. 29 is fine. And then revenue, then COG. So we will also create one ratio of revenue to give it a correct presentation. So revenue, the formula is simple. Revenue percent is equal to divide revenue with revenue. Revenue with revenue, revenues, comma 0, So now it's again Control C, Control V, drag and drop here. It should be revenue. So change it into revenue percent, and the target of revenue is again there. Revenue. Net profit should be removed. Okay. And then the formatting also. First change the title. It should be revenue percent and multiply by 100%. Sorry. It should be 100%. And the target would also be changed to percent form. Percent. Okay. Now the last one is COGS. Control C, Control V. So it's an expense. So I will take expense, copy and paste expense, Control C, Control V. So it's COGS. So it should be first from the target. It should be COGS. Okay. And then from IS ratio, it should be COGS percent. Okay. And then change the percent. Okay. 0 decimal place. The goal should also be in the form of percentage because it's 0.65. So we'll change it into percent. All right. So this is done. We will see how where net profit is again. This is fine. OPEX is fine. In this 3 number, there's a problem. Net profit. Let me see where we made the mistake. Net profit IS ratio. Net profit is revenues. Okay, it's fine. So we will see first the net profit calculation as well. Where is net profit here? EBIT is equal to EBIT less EBIT less interest and income tax. It's fine. So what's the problem? Net profit percentage, and here is also net profit. So why it's not showing us the correct number? EBIT is same. Can anyone identify like why is it correct net profit? It looks correct. Let me see in the end. Okay, we will change the page background. I will change it into this color. I am doing some formatting steps as well for your ease. Transparency 0. Okay. And the background should be here. The background we will change it to no background, 0 background. Background off. Background off. Background off. Background off. Background off. And background off. Now we will put a quarter filter and quarter slicer and year slicer. So first this slicer. Now we will click on date. First quarter, the quarter which we created. This is the quarter. Go in the format, general, it should be horizontal. Now we will take it here. We will reduce the size of the quarter. Okay. Slicer header. We want to off it, and items should be, the color should be, no, should be white, and the title should be, title is off, title should be on. No, title should be off. 1 minute. Select items, background should be blue. Yeah, it's blue now. We will control C and control V, control C, control V. Oh, sorry. It should be here. Control C, control V. Okay, now it should be changed to year. From here, I will go to, this is the year. This is the year. Okay, fine. Now it's dynamic. This is 2017 data. See, the numbers are changing. This is Q4 data. This is Q3 data. This is Q2 data. This is Q1 data. So we can see, if we can judge from here that if we are exceeding our targets here in the Q1 of 2018, for example, we are exceeding the target of net profit. We are exceeding the target of earning before interest and tax, and we are not exceeding the target of interest and income tax expense. GP is fine. We are exceeding the target. Similarly, for 19, again, it's fine. For Q2, it's fine. So depending on our goals, you know that these numbers will change, the color will change automatically because we have set those colors. And we can also do some, so we will, the background will be, we will, you know, off the background, give it a more neat look. We will off the background now. So if we go in the new, in the insert, and if I click on shapes, this is the line. And I will rotate this line. For instance, it's 90. So I will take it here. This shape. Okay, and 1 minute. One more shape, one more line. We will reduce this line and we will put it here. Okay, Control C, Control V. Okay, so I'm just doing the formatting step, you know, we are done with the dashboard. I hope it's clear, like, to everyone that how I did this. If anyone has any questions, you can ask me. or it's clear? It was simple.
No, I think it's very excellent. The power of Power BI is amazing. By selecting quarter and year, you can immediately see the numbers.
Yes.
And on this net profit percentage, is there an issue? I think the way it's defined, it's net profit is equal to EBIT minus interest income. In this particular instance, it's minus 1%. So that's why it's showing. That's why it's showing 7.
Exactly. 1 minute. I just want.
Maybe in another quarter it's fine. In this particular, the data is probably negative. The cost is actually negative, therefore it's 7. But if you change the year or quarter, I think it's fine.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's what the objective is to show you how we can prepare it. So it depends on the data. Maybe there's a problem in the data or but this is how it goes. Yeah. V, Control V. I just want to show one final dashboard. Done. Control C. Control V. So it's how it goes. So these are the profitability ratios. So if we are in 2019, this is Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. The numbers are changing. The color is changing. So if you are sitting in a board meeting or if somebody wants to present to the higher management the numbers, we can do it easily. And if we go back, this is the calculation behind this KPI report, and these are the calculations. This is the date table we created. This is the income statement calculations. These are the calculations which we did. These are the IS ratios, balance sheet ratios. From here we will continue the next session, inshallah. And this is the Power Query, the data which I imported from the Excel. This was the balance sheet. First we unpivot the columns, then we got these balance sheet values, months, subcategory, category, main account, and from this income statement it was quite easy. So if we have time, I can also create the balance sheet number as well. Let's see. So profitability ratio is fine. Okay, now I would create the DuPont analysis. Again, I would create one 1 minute text box. DuPont. It should be 24. So we'll put it here. It should be in the center. And again, I will do the formatting steps in front of you. Background should be should be blue, the other color, this one, and it should be bold, and the color should be white. Okay. Now I would again create the calculations. We will go into the data. Now it will be BS calculations. Load. The first calculation we have is first again we will pull all the BS values, sum of all the balance sheet BS values. So the BS values, where is the BS calculation? So new measure, BS values is equal to sum, bracket open, balance sheet BS values, bracket close. So if this one is extra column, I will delete this. So these VS values, if I go back into the Power Query, again I did the summation of all the balance sheet values. If I go back into the Power Query, transform data, we can see that with the help of that measure, I did summation of all these BS values. Inside balance sheet, there is BS values. So sum, bracket open, balance sheet, expression, and is the first filter BS values. Close and apply. The first formula is again stockholders equity. It's quite simple. Stockholders equity is residing inside category. So Control C, new measure. Control V. Stockholders equities will be there. We got the stockholder equity. What is this? Okay. So we got stockholders equity. Then there is total assets. This is the formula of total assets. From total, how we'll calculate total assets? We will go into the BS values, and then the first filter is balance sheet main account is equal to asset. Control C, new measure. Control V. Okay, main account is equal to assets. So if I go back into the Power Query, I can show you that how it pulled the data of total assets. Power Query, if you go back into the Power Query, in the balance sheet, the formula was that calculate from the BS values, this is the expression, balance sheet main account is equal to assets. Balance sheet main account is equal to assets. So these are the assets. It will calculate all the assets under main account. Assets till here. So total assets are here, which includes current assets, non-current assets. So see the formula again, I will repeat. Total assets is equal to calculate BS values, calculate from this BS values. First filter is balance sheet main account is equal to assets. Balance sheet main account is equal to assets. So it has summed all the assets here. The next formula is NP upon sale, because now since we are calculating DuPont ratios, so for DuPont we need NP upon sale. So Control C, close and apply again. I hope it's clear, that's why I'm explaining again and again, because these are very important. If you guys try in your own data, then it will be easy for you. Okay. PS calculations, new measure. Control V, NP upon sale divided net profit divided. Okay, fine. The next one is total assets turnover. This is the formula of total assets turnover. Divide revenue with total assets. Control C. Again, new measure. Control V. Total assets turnover. We got total assets turnover now. Now the next one is financial leverage. Control C, a new measure, and I would paste this. So I would share these formulas, these measures with you also in the end. Financial leverage is equal to divide total assets with stockholders equity. Fine. And the last one is this DuPont ratio is also called return on equity. So I will replace it as ROE. NP sale percent into total asset turnover into financial leverage. This is the formula. Control V. Okay. Fine. Now first one, now we will not use the KPI card, we will use this simple card. This is NP upon sales percent, which is 11%. Click here, percent. we will keep it till 2. Okay, and we will change the text as data label color should be okay, and text size is fine. Yeah, okay, 40. We will keep it 40 because it's looking too large. 40, 10.74%, and title is on, fine, background is off, and fine, data label auto, font color should be blue. Okay, so this is NP upon sale percent. Control C, Control V. Now total assets turnover. I would just change total assets turnover. It would be percent again here. And the last one is financial leverage. Control V, and this one is financial leverage. There is some problem in the formula, I think. Financial leverage ROE is equal to NP upon 3%. Control C, Control V. Financial leverage is the formula. Divide total assets divided by stockholder equity. I don't know what's the problem here. So there's a problem with this formula. Let me see again. But like how, we divided in 2 analysis. Like first is profitability, which is quite fine, and now there is a problem in the formula. I will see into the data first, but like here the financial leverage would come. I would show you, and then here we will show the return on equity or the DuPont like this, and again we will prepare these lines and the data will move dynamically. Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. So this was the KPI, or you can say dashboard or report for this session. If you have any questions, we can ask from this point. We will start later on in the next session. It's not like done yet, but we will build up on this report in the next session. Any questions you can ask. I will try to fix this one as well. Why the number is not correct, and like there's a problem in the formula. I will see the data again, but the presentation would be like this. Any questions you can ask.
Right.
Recording. So I will share the recording with you guys, and yeah. Yes, Abdullah.
Okay, I think it's very interesting. The dashboard, and there is a lot of steps, but I think need some practice.
You need to practice a lot.
Yes, I have one suggestion also.
Yeah.
We know that you are so busy and also have a lot of work, and you are doing this in your time, your own time and the family time also. I suggested that if we can do it twice or bi-weekly.
Yeah, this is the plan I had before, but then some people suggested that we should do it weekly. So that is
yeah, every 2 weeks, one session, do it twice a month.
Yeah,
it will give you space, and also for us also to practice also.
yes, correct. I'm fine with this. So
if anybody have an idea, it's just a suggestion, you can feel free.
Yeah, I think it's fine. It should give us time to practice also, because that is more important. Ali, I just wanted to understand in this DuPont analysis, it's automatically picking up the dates because when you were setting up the total assets divided by the asset turnover ratio, etc., you never mentioned the dates. Yeah.
Dynamic,
So,
Mr. Khalid, date is dynamic.
okay.
I mean to say, like, this is the quarterly. This is, for example, if I click here, so it's the total ratios for all the years. Okay.
Okay.
17, 18. This is only for the 18.
For the right.
If it's Q4, then it's moving. Q3, it's moving. Q2, it's moving. So the date table has already the relationship established with this balance sheet and income statement. If I go into the model, here is the relationship established. Date,
Okay.
balance sheet months, and income statement months with the date. So it's now dynamic. When we will be clicking on this, any of the quarterly data, it will be showing us the exact numbers because the relationship is there. We have the formulas, and you can say it's moving.
Thank you, Ali. I think it's fantastic. Very powerful.
That's the beauty. Just please excuse me on this, numbers, but just understand the concept. So maybe when I will come in the next session, this number will be, I will fix this number, and it will give the accurate presentation. Maybe some formula is a mistake, or like I will.
No, I think it's the data formula is fine because it says in other quarters it was giving like 6% minus 3% is giving 3.
Yeah.
The logic is fine. I think in some quarters you have a negative income tax or interest.
Exactly. But like the concept should be clear. Definitely I'm here, and like I will be, if you guys have any data you want me to present in a different way, we are together in this. I will create a new dashboard as well in the next session. So in the next session I will give you the concept of the scenario analysis. So once if we change some parameters in the cost and how the profit will be impacted and all these things. So I will build up from this session onward